There was once a young man with big dreams. He wanted to write a book, get fit, start a business, and live a meaningful life. But he had a problem, a mind that just wouldn't stop racing. Every time he sat down to write, a voice whispered, "You're not good enough." Every time he planned to hit the gym, it said, "You can do it tomorrow." Whenever inspiration struck, doubt crept in and said, "It won't work." He was living in a cage, but the prison wasn't the world, it was his own mind. One morning, tired of the anxiety and endless overthinking, he drove out to visit his grandfather, an old Marine veteran known for his calm, disciplined mindset. Sitting across the wooden porch, he asked, "Why do I feel like I'm constantly fighting myself? I know what I should be doing, but I just can't seem to do it." The old man sipped his coffee, smiled, and replied, "Because you've never trained your mind." "What do you mean?" the young man asked. "The mind is like a wild horse. If you don't train it, it runs wild and drags you all over the place. But if you learn to guide it, it will take you exactly where you want to go." And in that moment, something clicked. For the first time, he realized his mind wasn't the enemy. It was a tool. He just never learned how to use it. That night, the young man made a decision. He would begin the most important training of his life. Not of the body, not of his skills, but of the mind. The next morning, the alarm rang at 5 a.m. The mind whispered, "Hit snooze." But for the first time, he said, "Not today." He sat to meditate. Thoughts rushed in like waves. 5 minutes felt like a full hour, but he didn't quit. The next day, he showed up again, and the next, and the next. In the weeks that followed, the battle continued. He started journaling, learning to untangle thoughts instead of becoming lost in them. He read books on mindset, listened to podcasts, and practiced gratitude. His real enemies weren't external. They were old habits, procrastination, insecurity, fear of failure. Some days he won, some days his old mind took over. But something had changed. He was aware. He was no longer a slave to his thoughts. He was becoming the observer. One morning while journaling, he wrote something that changed everything. "I can't control the world, but I can control how I respond to it. And that starts in my mind." He began applying this everywhere. When someone insulted him, he didn't snap. He paused, breathed, responded with calm. When his first business idea flopped, he didn't fall apart. He analyzed, adapted, and tried again. He wasn't just getting stronger physically, he was becoming mentally unshakable. Friends began to notice. "You're different," they said. "You're more focused, more grounded." He'd smile and reply, "I stopped feeding the wrong thoughts." Months passed. He finished the book he'd dreamed of writing. He dropped the weight and built the healthy lifestyle he'd always wanted. His second business idea gained traction. But more than the results, he was proud of something else. He had learned to command his mind. He had learned the secret. Thoughts aren't truths. They're just suggestions. You get to choose which ones to believe. He had stopped being a puppet. He had taken the strings back into his own hands. About a year later, he was sitting with his younger brother, who was now facing the same storm he had once lived through. "I feel stuck," the younger one said. "I want to do better, but I just can't focus. My brain's always running." The young man handed over a blank notebook and said, "Write everything your mind says. Then ask yourself, is this helping me or holding me back?" The younger one raised an eyebrow. He smiled and said, "Trust me, control your mind and you control your life." Most people try to fix everything around them, jobs, relationships, location, without ever looking at the real battlefield, their mind. The mind can be your greatest ally or your worst enemy. It can create heaven or hell. But once you learn to pause, observe, and direct your thoughts with intention, you unlock the power to change everything around you. Because success doesn't begin out there, it begins in here.